Then Jesus said to them, children, have ye any food? They answered him, no. Verse number 6, and he said to them, cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some. So they cast, and now they were not able to draw it in because of the multitude of fish. Therefore that disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, it is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he had removed it and plunged it into the sea. But the other disciples came in the little boat, for they were not far from the land, but 200 cubits, dragging the net with fish. So then as soon as they had come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid on it, and bread. Jesus said to him, last verse, said to them, bring some of the fish which you have just caught. Sorry, 2 more verses. Simon Peter went up and dragged the net to the land full of large fish, 153. Although there were so many, the net was not broken. Last verse, number 12. Jesus said to them, come and eat breakfast. Yet none of the disciples dared ask him. I want to declare and decree tonight the word of the Lord for tonight for the people of God that would receive. I want to declare and decree tonight that my message is entitled The Season of Breakfast.
The season of breakfast.
The season of breakfast. You can be seated in the presence of the Lord.
My God, my God, my God.
The season of breakfast.
All right now. Sorry about that.
One of the things that I love about the Lord is how the Lord will use ordinary men and ordinary women in order to do extraordinary things. I love when his supernatural can flow through our natural and his spiritual can overwhelm our carnal. I love how God will use anyone who will avail themselves to him so that he can be able to get glory from them. I love it because he'll use people from all walks of life. He'll use them no matter what their background is in order to come through them as a vehicle and a vessel in order to use them for his glory. He had unorthodox means and ways of calling individuals in the Bible, as I hurry. He came by different ones that were fishing, and he called them from the job and said, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. He came by Matthew, and Matthew was sitting at his job working, and he said, follow me, and Matthew left, or Levi left everything that he had and began to follow Jesus. He didn't know what Jesus was telling him to follow him to, but he left him and followed him. He used ordinary men and women to do extraordinary things. We find in our text tonight that Jesus is at a place now where he is resurrected from the dead. Somebody say he's resurrected.
He's resurrected.
I like it because Acts gives the account that he didn't just get up, but that he was raised up. Which lets me know that the Father knew how long to keep him down.
Come on.
He knew how long was too long for him to be in the grave. And when the Father chose that and said that it was enough, the Father knew when to resurrect him from a place of being dead. See, you gotta understand that even though Jesus was the Christ, is the Christ, I still submit and suggest that it was Jesus that died, but it was the Christ or the Christos that was not killed. Because it was the Christos that went into the lower parts and preached captivity. He preached unto those who were in prison and led captivity captive. So it was the Christ that was not killed. The anointed one was still alive, but it was Jesus that was the sacrificial lamb that was slain, that was dead, and he was raised up with not simply little power, but all power in his hand. And he had told them that this is all that is going to take place, Pastor. He said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to die, but 3 days I will rise again. But we find it here that on the other side of the resurrection, we have disciples that are now discouraged, and Peter makes the suggestion and says, I'm going fishing. And the rest of them said, we're going with you. Now, isn't it amazing that everybody agreed to go fishing with Peter, but everybody did not have a background of fishing?
My.
They wanted to go fishing because what Jesus said he was going to do was taking too long for them to see.
Yes.
So because it was taking too long, they decided that they were going to go fishing.
Yeah.
Now the thing I see about this is when Peter decided to go fishing, and then he went, and then the others that did not have the background of fishing decided to go, his influence influenced them to do something they had never done before. How many times have we been tempted to go back because it's taking too long?
My.
How many times have we wanted to go fishing because it's taking too long in doing what he said he was going to do? And because of our impatience, we drag other people that don't know how to do what we did into our mess. Now I'm preaching to your life. So we don't go there with you, Peter, because we're discouraged too. We may not know how to do it like you do it, but we gonna do it because misery loves company. So they said, we going fishing. And it was amazing that when they went, we read it in the text, that when they went fishing, the Bible says that they caught nothing. I'm impatient. I brought other people along with me that don't know how to do what I know how to do. But yet, in the midst of it all, I can't even produce anything in it. I have nothing to show from it because I ain't supposed to be doing it to begin with. Jesus asked the question in verse number 5. He said, children, have ye any food? They answered him and said, no. In other words, Jesus asked them, what did you produce by not waiting on what I said I was going to make happen? In other words, have you anything to show for from you going backwards?
My.
What do you have to show for you not waiting on me? And they said nothing.
My God.
But then when morning came, that's why the text said, when morning came, Jesus showed up and he asked for inventory of what you gained from not waiting on me.
Yes, indeed.
My God.
I've gained nothing. You need to tell me you're an experienced fisherman and you went because you got tired of waiting and you have nothing to show for your backside. I mean, for going